Hello everybody, it's Brady from Late Weather Forecast, and tonight I'm going to be doing a video on Tropical Depression 20, soon to be Teddy, Paulette, and also Sally. It's going to be rather quick because I've had to make this video several times now, and I'm tired and pissed. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Um, Here's Tropical Depression 20, 35 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour movement west-northwest currently. Not a fish storm. Not a fish storm. We'll have to see what it does. Could make a close approach to Bermuda or a close approach to the States. We're going to have to see what happens there. And forecast to become a major Category 3 plus hurricane, potentially Category 4 based on the modeling right now. And I wouldn't surprise me if it gets up to Category 5 strength. So we could be looking at our first Category 5 hurricane of the season. I would not be surprised if we see that to happen in the future, not in the upcoming recent future, but soon to come potentially. So yeah, it's been organizing today, and it's going to organize more tonight and tomorrow, and we'll continue to do so, as we'll definitely have a tropical storm tomorrow for sure. And so yeah, that's going to do it for TD20. Now Paulette currently an 85 mile per hour hurricane moving northwest to 13 miles per hour, going to make a close approach to Bermuda. And very crucial if it moves just west of Bermuda or right over the southwest part of the island. That's going to allow a lot of surge to happen with that northeast eye wall just piling on those winds, and surge and heavy rainfall to at the same time, going to cause for very big problems. So the exact track is crucial. If you know anybody that lives in Bermuda tonight, tell them do not go to sleep, because especially if you live on the coast, if you have some elevation, they'll probably be fine to sleep. But if you know anybody that lives on the coast, I would alert them to say it's probably not a good thing to try and sleep tonight. You can see here it's starting to get very close to Bermuda, and I think it could make a landfall tonight based on its movement. So we're gonna have to see that. Either way, strong winds, category 1 at 976 millibars, and will continue to intensify eventually into a major hurricane, it looks, by Tuesday. And we could be looking at, what would that be, our second or third, depending on what Sally does. So yeah, that's what it looks like currently for Paulette right now. I'll take a look at some of the intensity guidance very quickly. Very set in stone for the long-term future, and many of the modeling bringing up into a Category 3 hurricane. So yeah, that is not news for us. So yeah, that's what we're looking at for Paulette. Now quickly moving on to Sally. Sally, well, a lot of question marks remain, but what is certain, Sally's going to intensify. I believe rapidly intensify. Currently a 60 mile per hour tropical storm. There is no doubt in my mind, even though there's still some uncertainty due to models that are doing dog crap. I was going to say another word, but dog crap this year, and especially the global models are just doing so bad this year. It's incredible how bad they're doing. And due to this uncertainty, it's caused more problems than some of the forecasts. So which really sucks, because it's important for people. We're trying to inform them for the safety of their lives of what's going to happen. So my prediction is, I think it's going to be a major hurricane. I really do. That's my gut, and that's based on what I'm seeing and all the environmental conditions surrounding the storm, and that the blow up that happened tonight of convection, which I'm going to show you in a second. There's no doubt that, well, there's a little doubt, I guess, but I'm highly confident this is going to become a major hurricane, and I don't want that to happen, because New Orleans and the Mississippi coast and Alabama, Mobile, they're all just Dauphin Island. They're just all so prone to storm surge, and very, prone, they're just not in good shape for hurricanes when they come. So, uh, incredibly storm surge prone part of the Gulf Coast, and it's not exactly what we want to see. But take you through here some of the graphics here for the wind field. I like to show you. It's gotten in very expansive. The wind field has the tropical storm force wind field. Not a ton. You can see how lopsided it is, but it has gotten less lopsided over the past few hours, and those tropical storm force winds have started to spread now more towards the northwest side and more to the west side. Now we'll continue to see more symmetry in surface wind field, but you don't never like to see this uncertainty 48 hours away from a landfalling hurricane, and we see this kind of uncertainty. That's not good. It's going to slow down and cause major problems, is what we do know. So I'm going to slide out of this and refresh this, and we can see just the massive convective blow up, and we can see the hot towers rotating somewhat around the center. It looks pretty close, hard to tell at this point because it's nighttime, no visible satellite data. And we can see very nice, very nice structure tonight compared to what it looked like earlier today. Convection all around the center, outflow great, just not all the signs we want to be seeing tonight from Sally, especially if you're a resident of the Gulf Coast and you're just really seeing that rotating convection happening. It's just very impressive to look at. Yeah, it's not exactly something we want to see, but that is what is happening. So we'll take a look here, refresh Earth null, and we can see, take a look at the center here. Just, yeah, it looks a lot better if you've been following my Twitter than it did earlier. And actually, that is interesting. What is that? Little spinning feature over there by the just south of the North Carolina coast. That's interesting. But get back to this. Yeah, so we can see Sally here, and yeah, this is tightened up the circulation, but we can see on the north side of Sally, well, I guess maybe the east side of Sally because it's moving west, but however you look at it, we can see we can see some bright greens and some yellows indicative of where the strongest part of the wind field is, and it's in that northeast eyewall we saw the most recent recon, or no, use this easier to see. Most recent recon indicated, we can see here if I zoom in, some 60 to 63 knot flight level winds, and some also, that's not going to load of course right at this time, and also some 55 knot surface winds as well. And we take a look at the surge now. I'm going to move on to that. So that's what it's currently based on recon. It's around a 60-65 mile per hour tropical storm. Probably get an upgrade at the 2 a.m. advisory. We can see the Lake Pontchartrain 4 to 6 feet, not good. 7 to 11 feet from the mouth of the Mississippi, over towards very close to the Mississippi-Alabama border, where they're supposed to receive 4 to 7 feet, and I expect this to move east as well by the 5 a.m. advisory, and expect these numbers to go up, I bet. Given that I think there's going to be a major hurricane, I don't want this to happen, but be prepared for those storm surge numbers to potentially come up to or exceed 15 feet. I hate trying to hype up these things, but that's just what I'm seeing. It's what the HMO models, they're showing it, a borderline major hurricane, and that's just what I'm seeing. I don't want it to happen, but I'd be prepared for as much, or if not more than 15 feet of storm surge. Yes, please follow the National Hurricane Center and all their forecasts. They're the best. I am not the best. I have 87 subscribers or whatever for a reason. But just take a look at what's been happening tonight based on all the information and data I've been providing, and do the math. I believe those numbers are going to go higher. That's what I'll put it at. I'm not going to give an exact number, but expect these numbers to go up. That's I'll leave it at that. And finally, the last part before I leave tonight is the rainfall. 20 plus inches of rainfall possible in southeastern Louisiana and in the Mississippi coast potentially, and 15 to 20 inches rainfall possible from, again, southeastern Louisiana up potentially towards the Mississippi Alabama border, and potentially 10 to 15 inches of rainfall extending all the way from the Florida Panhandle, um, again spreading well deep into southeast Louisiana potentially. So this is the worst part. It's forecasted to almost stall. It's very slow down, and in 48 hours, it may not even make a landfall yet. So we could be looking at potentially a Tuesday night landfall now, rather than what was looking like a Tuesday morning landfall. So that's a huge difference. We're looking at potentially 12 extra hours to intensify over the Gulf, and that's why I believe it's going to be a major hurricane. But take a look at these rainfall forecasts, and yeah, those are pretty sobering. Um, Flash flooding potential for the next 3 days. Only 8 other times has this been issued for a high flash flood risk guidance over the next 3 days. Some of the two more memorable events include Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Florence. So we need to treat this storm on that magnitude. We have to treat it like that. Give it the respect it deserves. Prepare the way you know you should for a major hurricane, and you will be safe. You will be fine. I'm not guaranteeing all your property will be fine, but you will be fine, and that's what matters most. Okay. For official information, please consult the National Hurricane Center and your local National Weather Service office. And that's going to do it from me. Good night and stay safe.